I think we're in a great spot, so I'm ready to do this.
Yeah. You're listening to Listings and Lullabies, a girl dad's journey with your host, Varun Varma. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of the Listings and Lullabies, a girl dad's journey podcast with your host, Varun Varma. My name is Vikas Sandhi as the producer, and Varun, we actually launched it, man.
We did.
This is episode 2. We already contradicted what we said on episode 1, which was, hey, we don't know if we're going to make it to episode 2.
Yeah.
But we actually did. So welcome everyone to episode 2. So Varun, man, just give us a little bit of the feedback of just launching this. What's been going on? How you feeling? You a rock star now?
Yeah, I'm famous now. You know, Joey Burrow called me and said, yo, can I get on? I was like, yo, we got a long waiting list, but I'll see if I can jump you up. But no, man, didn't know what to expect, right?
Right.
You know, we talked about it. We just launched it, and we just like, all right, you know, we get one listener, you know, which would be my mom and your mom. And maybe that's 3 right there. But no, yeah, it was great response, great feedback. Got a lot of texts, DMs from colleagues, people I've known or met, haven't talked to in a while, and they were excited. And that is just really just showcases that people may needed to see this.
Yes, people need this
People wanted
stuff.
it, or people were excited just to kind of get out there and just do it. And I think you got a couple texts as well from people saying, hey, I need to set something up as well too. It's like, so I think it's just great just to get out there, do it, and that also lights a fire to everyone else. Say, all right, if this dude could do it, you know, I could do it. Right?
Yeah, and it's about getting uncomfortable, getting out there, putting yourself out there, showing your vulnerabilities, which you've done. And actually, you didn't mention this, but we actually got some listeners that emailed us and said, teach me how to be an amazing girl dad. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, that's one of the best feelings in the world is when you get people out there listening to your stuff, supporting your stuff, and looking for help, looking for guidance, man. That's what this is all about. So it's been amazing. Yes, kudos to you for starting this. You know, now we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. We're on all of the other podcast streaming platforms. Our website has our episodes on them. YouTube has our episodes on them as well.
Yeah, if they want to watch us while we talk, too.
Yeah, if you want to watch us and see our beer bellies, hey, go right ahead for it. But the audio's version are also available as well. But no, I think that it's been awesome. The feedback's been great.
A big thank you. Shout out to everyone, you know, that sent a message or listened. Not sure what our numbers are and things like that, but
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Excited.
I know we definitely had at least 50 downloads on Buzzsprout.
Yeah.
We've definitely got some listeners all across the board. We'll talk to y'all about the data too, you know, that this doesn't happen just naturally all of a sudden. And don't forget to check us out and follow us on TikTok, on Spotify, on Instagram and Facebook. We do have those 3 platforms as well where we're posting all of our stuff. So a lot more to come, man. But let's dive right in. So as you all know, we're going to be talking about the listings part and the lullabies part. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think a lot more people love the lullabies part of it, right? But I just wanted to come out and just, you know, reinforce that that's going to be our programming. But so let's go into the cuteness of it first. So the lullabies part of it. So for those that don't remember from episode 1, Varun had a beautiful baby girl. Zyanna is her name on May 3rd. And so we want to share highlights about her, hence he's a girl dad. What's been going on lately, man? What are some of the updates?
She just turned 10 months, which is crazy. So we've been talking and planning her, you know, her first birthday, how we're going to do that big, because obviously everything with me always has to be elevated and extreme and extra. So we've been talking about that, and Bhavisha's on board with most of the stuff.
She is. I think she's catching up with you now.
She is. So that's exciting. Starting daycare next week. So that will be a big transition. Bhavisha and I have been kind of dealing with that differently. You know, we're excited. I think, at least I'm excited for the part of getting our days back, I guess, a little bit, getting a little bit more structure. Zyanna getting a little bit more acclimated to other environments.
Yep.
Right now, she's her childcare consists of, just our parents, which we're fortunate to have, and then with Bavisha's flexible work, she's able to kind of manage that as well. But I'm excited in that aspect. And for me, it was, as soon as we came home from the hospital, essentially, I was kind of back to work. So that flip the switch type thing was just an automatic transition, because now I was like holding Zyanna and looking down at her and saying, okay, we got to go. We got to grind. We got to work, and things like that. So that mentality for me has just been different. So I'm ready for at least Bavisha to experience a little bit more structure for
freedom.
her. And freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Let's cut to the chase. Some freedom.
Exactly. Because for me, I've been on the go. So I've been back to work, in person and things like that, a few weeks after we had Zyanna. So for me, that transition of, okay, being away from Zyanna during the day already had to happen, because it wasn't like, hey, I can't show this house, I can't meet with you, because that's the livelihood. That's what gets us to this position, what gets us to the next level, and helps us, take care of the family, right? That's in the back of our mind, because we need to produce as being an entrepreneur, right? So you can't really take that time off, so figure out that balance. But with Bavisha, it's, she's constantly around her, and so that's definitely a transition that her and I have been talking through about how she's going to manage, how she's going to deal. So that's probably our biggest next change right now. Just had her 9-month checkup a couple weeks ago. She's getting big, man.
She's so cute.
It's crazy.
We got to see her yesterday, and she's just little plumpy blueberry right now. She's so cute.
She is. Yeah, she's 90th percentile of her height.
Yes.
And I was like, if she didn't look dead on like me with the round face, I'd be like, that's not my kid, because height in our family has never been in the same sentence. So for her to be in that 90th percentile, we'll see how long that lasts. But no, so she's doing well in that sense. But the daycare is probably our next biggest change of how we're going to deal with that as Bavisha and I kind of navigate that. Of course, everything comes with, her new routine. How does she acclimate to different environment, going through that whole phase of, is she okay? What's going on? Wanting to check up, every moment, what she's doing and things like that too. And
So a lot of our listeners, I'm sure, are probably gonna, as soon as you say daycare, either they've gone through that same experience, or they've got some anxiety leading up to getting prepared to go to getting their children to go to daycare.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'll tell you guys, I have a 9-year-old son. He's gone through daycare. I will tell you all, especially the moms, you will be okay. Your kids will be okay. It's a big expense, but you will find that it will help with their growth in tremendous ways. It's not easy, and a lot of people wait until they absolutely have to do it. I will tell you this, if you're in a fortunate position where you can afford it or you have some flexibility, do it, because it catapults and exponentially grows them as human beings. Share with us some of the stuff that you have to consider thinking about daycare or prepping for it or getting your mind right. Like, share some of that with our listeners.
You mentioned a big part of it, affording it, right? It is expensive. It's and the ones that we interviewed and toured, a lot of them were all strictly full-time. Budget saving purposes, or doing a balance of, okay, couple days on, couple days off, things like that. So that's been a big part of it. Of course, the trust, the culture, the curriculum of it too. We're fortunate to have a lot of options. We're fortunate enough that we didn't really have to force her into it, because we had to go back to work. We didn't have family support for daycare and things like that. We know a few of our friends that have had their first child the same timeline as us, and they were, they didn't have the family support or the work balance where they could, work from home, take care of their child, or the extended maternity leave and things like that too. So, a couple of our friends had to go, I believe, as quick as 6 or 7 weeks.
Wow.
So, I've been impressing that on Bavisha too. Is like, okay, look at the perspectives and things like that. And it's hard to say to a mom, look at the perspective, 'cause something is flying at your perspective right away. So, but has been a big part of it too. Of, is it the right curriculum? Do we feel comfortable? Fortunate enough where we live, we have close friends with us that have already gone and chosen.
Okay,
that
so you've
school.
got real
We
world
also know
testimonials.
a family friend and client who owns a couple of these daycares in the New York area.
Yep,
so was able to kind of chat with her about their experiences and things like that. So we felt comfortable. We already had kind of the foundation and framework of which schools we liked and things like that. And it was just weird because the way we did it, we went early on, and our feel and vibe of the daycare was like, no, we're never leaving Zyanna. This was early on when we toured it too and things like that. So it just kind of threw off everything for us. And then as time went on and then we got more serious about it, we felt more comfortable in the second tours and things like that. So definitely recommend, if you have to tour it, wait till you're ready. Don't tour it like a few weeks after just to get an idea. You were like, I'm never leaving my child ever again. Like, just get away from us, things like that. But no, we've definitely talked that it's definitely a need now. I think when we were talking about daycare before we had Zyanna, I think that we had originally planned maybe closer to 6 months, but around the 6-month time, it started to get winter time, time, and things like that. And there's no avoiding your child getting sick or bringing home something from daycare, regardless of the time of year, the season, things like that. So
so on that note, just whoever's getting ready for daycare or those that already know, be prepared for a year and a half. Your kid's going to be going through all kinds of germs and sicknesses. You're going to go through these too. It's natural in building up their immunity. So just be prepared for that and do everything you can to avoid that at all costs, but it's going to happen, right?
Yep.
And hey, listen, we've always told everyone we are here not to just try and, we want to do a podcast. We want to be a part of the community. If anyone has any feedback, builds, concerns about daycare, the things that go into daycare, we're being dead serious. Message us on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Email us at hello@girldadspodcast.com. And we will try and help you out, too. This is meant to be a community podcast. We all can learn. If you have tips for us or tips for Varun, or you're about to head in that direction, let us know. We are here. Right?
Absolutely, because we are, you bring up a good point. We want this to be a community of sharing and feedback and guidance. It's not like we started this podcast to say, hey, this is what to do or this is how to do it, things like that. Dude, we have no clue. Our parents are still figuring things out. And you're 43, I'm 36, and they're still figuring things out. So there is no guideline or, milestone. Yep, I completely successfully completed the parenting
checkmark
curriculum or whatnot. So that I'm glad you brought that up because that's exactly what we want this to be, and we want to keep stressing that we appreciate the comments, the feedback, the emails, things like that of guidance and insight and maybe hate, I hate your shirt, like, cool, I do too, threw it on, but this is Lulu. I don't know why you would hate Lulu.
Man. So you said something about as soon as you had Zyanna, you literally went back to work.
Yes.
And so for those that may not know, we're cousins. We spend a lot of time together. And I'm going to be straight up blunt. Like, a lot of times when we were spending time with you, you literally are on your phone. A client calls, this home, something went wrong with that inspection, this and that. Like, how in the world do you manage all of this? And now we're transitioning into the listing side. Like, first of all, give us some updates on what's been going on in your world from a business perspective and the real estate market. But how do you manage all of this with a baby girl? Clients, it's 24/7. Real estate world is a 24/7 job. Like, how do you stay sane in this world? And give us some updates.
So it's tough, but it's definitely over probably the last 6 to 12 months since having Zyanna, knowing that Zyanna's coming, things like that, how I'm going to figure it out. Because early on in my real estate career, you always had to be a yes man, right? Because you wanted to build up the business as in any business that you're starting, whether it's small, large, things like that. There is no 9 to 5 way of it for real estate specifically. But there was a lot of anxiety and things like that if I got a text and I didn't respond to it early on in my career, and when it was just Bavisha and I and things like that.
Right.
And I know that affected her and us as just when it was just us two. But I always just viewed it as, well, I'm doing this for us, right? And Bavisha's gotten on board, but she's also helped me learn, like, okay, it doesn't always have to be on. So that's helped me. And there's been times that the clients wanted to talk on a Friday evening, and I've responded back, and the first couple of times, like, hey, you know what, if it's not important or urgent, I'm with, my family, my wife watching a movie, would you mind if I just call you tomorrow, and things like that. Nobody's really said, like, no, I need to call right now. And obviously I can gauge if there's something like, okay, an inspection thing happened, we need to figure something out and all that stuff. And real estate is complex of, are there some fires and emergencies that need to be put out, but is everything so urgent? And, we're not ER doctors where we get a call, and we're not on call, like, in that sense of things, but we want to make sure we're available to our clients and our vendors and partners in the business and things like that, should anything be needed. But it's been really a big learning experience on, relieving that anxiety of not getting back to somebody right away. Understanding that, okay, now Zyanna is looking, Bavisha could care less. She knows me, she knows how I am, things like that. But now it's, sure, Bavisha would be like, yeah, you can ignore me, but do not ignore Zyanna. Right. And now Zyanna is now, she's making noises, she's babbling, she's putting things together, and now she kind of can, like, yell at you, like, if she notices you're not paying attention to her and things like that, and she's looking at you and kind of starting to talk. So that's always in the back of, you're like, okay, and then you're like, oh shoot, throw your phone away. So that's been a big learning experience on how to balance all that. I mean, last month, February, was probably one of, or if not the top producing month for my career.
Wow.
So it was good even through COVID and things. I'll have to go back. I haven't had the chance to go back and, look at the data and things like that.
Right.
But it was crazy. Some of our listings that we had, flip projects or investor projects, some of our projects that we had listed kind of towards the end of the year last year, we took them off market, came back in January after the holidays. Those quickly found buyers with the rates dropping a little bit. So the buyers are starting to get back out there.
Yeah.
So that's been good. And then a couple other of my own personal residential clients found some homes. We listed, I picked up a client because I had sold a property in that area for a record number.
Oh, wow.
So they wanted to reach out. They were interviewing agents, so they called me because they say, hey, I saw that you sold this house for this price. Want to see if you can kind of do that. And we were successful with that. I hosted an open house Super Bowl Sunday.
Wow.
And during Super Bowl, we were there. I was on the phone negotiating.
The whole night.
Yeah. So, I missed them showing Taylor Swift. I was sad. I did get a little bit of hate for all the shout outs to Travis Kelce.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, yo.
But that was more for the Bearcat shout out, not Travis Kelce directly or the
guys.
Chiefs. So
come on.
But Travis Kelce, if you're watching, come on the show anytime.
Yeah, let's go. We can do a duo with your show and our show.
Yes. The market is picking up. People are still understanding that we have an inventory issue.
Yeah.
People still need to rent. I mean, one of my clients who I've been working with over the past couple of years, they had been renting for the last couple of years, and then their rent just kind of shot up exponentially, and the leasing company was like, hey, we're not going to renew your lease, and we're going to go to somebody else who's willing to pay this higher price point. So rent is continuously increasing. So people are put into certain predicaments because life changes will still happen regardless of even 10% interest rate. Marriage, kids, moving, relocating for jobs, perhaps unfortunate divorce, things like that. Those things will still continue to happen that you can't control. And in a market where we have just growth from the corporate perspective, improvements from renovations, more people coming into the area, more people needing to downsize, upsize, things like that, that will all continue to happen. It's been good. We expect this year to be pretty good. But last month was crazy, but I feel like I did have a good balance. I've set myself up with the right team that can handle a lot of back end stuff for me and who understand that, okay, you need to focus on these certain things. They can handle emails or back-end transaction things for me. So that's been a huge help too, just setting us up in the right systems and structure to then grow and scale, but while also maintaining the importance of, the husband and wife relationship, the dad and mom relationship, and the dad and daughter relationship. So, it's all learning and understanding the importance, and also having Bavisha in the back of my mind was like, hey, like, you need to make sure you're balancing and supporting and things like that. While this is all great, they don't need all, they just need us. Zyanna doesn't care or understand that, oh, okay, dad's ignoring me because he's going to sell a house, things like that. They don't care. They don't understand. I can explain that to Bavisha. Hey, I'm texting a client.
Right.
Zyanna, you can't say that too. She'd be like, what?
Yeah. One of the favorite quotes nowadays, and a lot of people are bringing more awareness to it, is the only person that's going to remember that you worked late are your kids.
Yeah.
Your boss ain't going to matter. The clients, I mean, we love our clients, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to remember that, oh, on Friday night, this guy did this for me and he helped get me my home. Maybe they will. Some of them will. But you know who's going to remember is Zyanna seeing you constantly on the phone when you're at home and it's supposed to be your time at home.
Yep.
Right? And so we do have to ask our clients for a little bit of privacy.
Sure.
Now you've got phone, email, WhatsApp, text, DMs on social media. You've got all this stuff. You're accessible in so many different places.
Right.
There comes a point where we have to draw a line for your own sanity.
Yeah.
And I've got to give you all kudos. First of all, kudos to Varma Realty Group for having a record-breaking month. You also launched a freaking podcast.
Yeah.
And then you're doing a great job as a girl dad. So give yourself some grace. Everyone, give yourself some grace and pat yourself on the back for making it this far. Right? Let's celebrate that. We'll give you your roses now.
Yeah.
Right? Not when you're dead. Now.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about, is now.
Right.
Beautiful, man. That's awesome.
No, that's what you said is exactly right. Yeah, celebrate the wins and successes, and understand who's important to you. Whether you have a children, you have a wife, you are planning to propose, or whatever it is. So celebrate the people around you who support you. Had a meeting with our president of Coldwell Banker, and one thing he brought up is like, who's your top 5 people, right? Who's the top 5 you want to surround yourself, and things like that. So you should be able to name them pretty immediately, or start to work towards being able to name those 5 people, because those 5 people are going to help you grow, help you succeed, pick you up when you fail, and be a pillar for you to get to the next step. And you also, hopefully in return, are someone else's top 5 as well. Right.
Yep.
So
episode 3, we're gonna find out who Varun's top 5. No, I'm joking, but no, that's a great point. It's list it out. Everyone, you got homework. Who are your top 5? And if you can't name them, why not?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, man, switching gears, we got the listings, we got the lullabies, we got all that. What's been going on in the non-listings and lullabies world, man? Let's see.
Spring is here, I think.
Yes, spring is
over the weekend
here.
we were able to kick and go to 50 West, which was absolutely
shout out 50 West, man. Love your beer.
If you don't know, social distancing is definitely done.
Done. Out the door.
But no, we love 50 West, right?
Yes,
Shout
we
out to
do.
50 West. You guys run an amazing operation there that people can come of all ages and just enjoy and kick back and hang out, relax. But yeah, the weekend was great. So spring is finally here, which means opening day is around the corner.
Yes, Cincinnati's national holiday, right?
It's
like our biggest.
Be a holiday.
Yes.
Yeah. So excited. I mean, obviously, that was a tradition for us. With me and Papa and Uncle and all of us would go down every year. Get to go to the games sometimes. Huge things we would do there. And so I'm excited to kind of take Zyanna with Bavisha and I down to the parade. And
It'll be the first one with her, right?
Parade, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, man, we're definitely going to do a highlight on that one for sure.
Yeah, so excited.
He's already crying. He's already tearing up. He's so happy. It's a huge holiday.
never thought about it, going with Dad and all of us as friends and family and things like that. Never thought about, okay, can't wait to the next generation to take them and enjoy this. But, sports is a big part of our family.
Yeah, it is.
For sure. I was born on opening day in 1987. So thankfully, Papa was able to make it to the hospital and be there for that time and not choose to stay for the rest of the game or whatnot. But no, it's been a huge part of our lives, and one of our great memories and core memories has a lot to do with sports in general, sure, but opening day.
All right. Well, stay tuned for that episode because I'm sure we'll pop in some photos and stuff for that episode.
Yeah, I know Zyanna's going to be unimpressed like she always has.
She's like, huh?
We took her to Disney Parade, and it was more nostalgic for Bavish and I, which we realized in that moment. But Zyanna didn't care. But she's going to, I think, remember these times. And I'm excited for the years to come to do that with her and then do that together. And, also then, thankfully, the parents are local, so we'll send Zyanna once the parade is done, and then we'll get to enjoy, our opening day celebration.
Yes.
So,
which we won't talk about.
And, I mean, we're hopefully we can continue the success we had last year.
Yeah.
Ellie just hit a 470-foot dinger in spring
Let's
training. Go. So, hopefully the whole Cincinnati sports momentum. FC just kicked off.
Yep. They're doing great.
Yeah, they're looking good. Hopefully, I won't go to any games this year because I clearly cursed them last year by going to the one game that we lost, which was the
that was the tournament game.
The conference championship.
Yep.
I was about to say the AFC championship.
Football. You still in football mode.
Always in football mode. But, I mean, dude, I am excited to do spring and summer with Zyanna. But obviously, Zyanna was born in May, so we did a little bit of stuff. We were able to get out and go. But now, we've got her birthday coming up. We've got spring training or opening day coming up, and just summer and ready to go Loveland Bike Trail and take her biking and just be out and about. And, this weekend being at 50 West and things like that was just
it was promising.
It was a blast, but promising.
It was very promising
to see like, okay, these next few months are going to be awesome.
Yep. And for those that don't know, Cincinnati has some of the best bike trails in the country. Yeah. I mean, you can go 50 to 100 miles on one trail all the way up from Southwest Ohio to Central Ohio.
Yeah.
So if anyone's hasn't tried it yet, from 50 West all the way up to Loveland Bike Trail and beyond. Oh, yeah. I mean, it is amazing. It's one of the funnest things I've found to do with the family here.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you hit on that as well.
Bavish and I picked up biking in COVID, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Need to get back. We were the fittest and slimmest then. So need to get back into that. But, excited to take Zyanna out. We have a jogging stroller as well. And in our neighborhood Facebook page, someone was giving away one of the trailers to put the kids in. So we have that now too. So this guy actually was a couple days after we had Zyanna, and I'm just on Facebook, and Uncle was with us, and this guy had just posted it, and I was like, yo, I'm on the way. And Uncle and I just went and picked it up real quick. It was hilarious. And it was actually good quality, things like that. So we're excited. Like you said, promising is a key word of what the – yes, it's early March right now.
I mean, it's still Cincinnati, right? We might still get up and downs, but
we might still get some snow in June, but you deal with it, right?
Awesome, man. Well, wow, this is our longest episode so far.
Okay,
wow, we're getting longer and longer, and hopefully, we just keep growing and growing, and we've got a lot to look forward to. This episode is once again Varun and myself, but we're gonna start to bring guests on the episodes. We're going to have call-ins. We're going to keep on expanding this. We're going to have more resources available on our social media, on our website, and everything. So, Varun, anything else you want to hit before we wrap this one up?
No, just again, a big thank you to everyone who downloaded, who followed, who sent messages. Really appreciate the love, and that's what kind of helps us solidify that. Okay, this was it was a risk, it was a leap. And we took it, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So that kind of helped us, say, all right, we're on the right track. And the community aspect of everything, we want to hear feedback and your side of perspectives and things like that, and how things go. And I'm looking forward to the guests. I'm looking forward to the other episodes. And great conversation today, just talking about what we're going through, and we'll see how things progress to the next episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for episode 2 of Listings and Lullabies, a girl dad's journey with your host, Varun Varma. Please do not forget to follow us, like us, subscribe to us on either YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. At girldads.podcast. You can search it. You'll find us on our website. We have all of our links as well at girldadspodcast.com. And we are now officially on Apple, Google, iHeart, Spotify, all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms. Thank you very much for joining us. One love, everyone. And we hope y'all have a great rest of your day.
Yep. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.